So here we are, mid-June, and this is what the garden's looking like. The mint is thriving. One of the pots of peppermint's doing pretty well. The rain barrels are full. We just had the last rain we're gonna have for probably a couple of weeks. The dahlias are hiding my rosemary. Might need to move those later. I've pulled up the garlic that was here, and the sweet potato is thriving there. My Egyptian walking onions are doing amazing. It's the first time they've put on their little baby onions. The sage has gotten huge and overwhelmed my yarrow that was under there. Also looks like something's been eating the yarrow. The lavender and rose bush are doing well. I've been harvesting the roses pretty much as soon as they bloom and drying the petals. Some of my tomatoes are still struggling a bit. You can see my indigo rose is looking kind of sparse. I'm probably harvesting a potato or a tomato a day, mostly little ones. I keep pulling grass out of these beds. Even putting the cardboard and stuff down has not really deterred it because I've got it coming in from the fence line there. And you can see some of my tomatoes still are looking kind of small, whereas others like this one are huge. We had some Swiss chard the other day, so I cut that back, and that was a side dish for dinner. My chamomile still has not bloomed. I need to put it in a sunnier spot next year. But the marigolds are doing well. The basil is done nothing, the seeds that I put in. So I put in some new seeds yesterday. Yet more tomato plants. I've got some garlic here that I'm going to have to pull probably tomorrow or the next day. The parsley is huge, and this is after I'd harvested a big bunch of it to dry. And there's one basil plant. That was one that I got as a plant, a little tiny one, but it's done okay. Oh look, more tomato plants that are flowering. I've gotten a lot of these Juliet tomatoes. That's pretty much what I'm harvesting every other day. And this is my German thyme. The English thyme I cut back severely earlier today. There's my banana pepper. I've harvested a couple of those. None of the other peppers have produced much. I'm seeing little baby peppers, those cropping up. Yeah, there. And I've got a jalapeno, I think, over here somewhere. It's a little. There's my other basil plant. Of course, the oregano is doing a very good job as a ground cover. The dill is starting to bolt. I have harvested a lot of that and dried it. My okra is getting huge. I got my first bloom on it day before yesterday. There's a little bitty okra. Should be ready to harvest soon. And with those leaves, look at that. That is just huge. I have cucumber over here just starting to bloom, and pinto green beans. I just planted beans from a bag of pinto beans from the grocery store, and I've been getting plenty of those. Matter of fact, just yesterday I made a side dish of cooked green beans, and just before we left for a vacation in Galveston, I'd had a handful that I cooked up as fried green beans. My zinnias are finally blooming. I'm so excited. This is where all the rest of that onion and garlic was, and it's now been harvested, and the sweet potato that I planted shortly before harvesting has started to take over. I've got a watermelon here. It's got a couple of blooms. Still hoping that these melons and squashes do okay with the and doesn't get affected by the squash bugs. The strawberries are still producing. I'm getting one every few days. And this is my Triple Crown Blackberry. It's thriving. And this is my, I believe, Arapaho Blackberry that's getting pretty big. I should get some nice berries off it next year. Some more dahlias and zinnias. Look at that adorable pink bloom. That makes me so happy. And this is the raspberry. It's growing pretty well, so I'm hoping to get some berries off it next year. And my snapdragon finally bloomed. This is the one that had been in the hydroponic system that died on us. And it had not put on a bloom really since I put it out here. But it has just gotten huge and put on lots of blooms in the last couple of days. This huge thing is Texas tarragon. I've tried growing Mexican tarragon and French tarragon, and none of them have really done well. But this Texas tarragon has done amazing, and it has got a very intense scent and flavor. So I really don't need a lot of it when I cook with it. And you can see I've got a squash blossom there. I've only been getting males up to this point that have bloomed, and those I've been saving and using to make squash blossom fritters. I've got a couple of sunflowers here. I'm looking forward to seeing them bloom. And green beans at the base. And I went ahead and left the radishes here. I planted them exclusively to try to protect my squash plants that are back here. See another one right there. And so far so good. We'll see how that goes. And then got a few things in pots. I harvested all those potatoes. I only got 5 pounds out of those 6 pots of potatoes. But I got a free pumpkin and cantaloupe from a local plant group. And we're going to see how those do. And that's my hibiscus that's still struggling. But the apple tree is flourishing. We found some aphids on it last night and sprayed for it, but it looks like they are back again. See those horrible things? I need to spray again. And then that's my Cuban oregano, my giant marigold that I'm hoping will bloom again. This is my lemon thyme. Got some grass trying to grow through it, and which has gotten huge in a very short period of time. And the same goes for the lemon balm. So it looks like the squash vine borer has gotten my squash plants. I really need to figure out a way to prevent this. I'm going to try to see if I can make it to the food store for some BT to see if that will help.